I want to get to this next story because we have been following it on the jump. The NCAA's top decision makers voted unanimously today to, hey, imagine that. They're going to start the process of modifying their rules to allow college athletes to profit from their name, image, and likeness. This is after the same officials fought tooth and nail against this idea. You know, they liked the idea of companies like Nike or Adidas paying endorsement money to the schools instead of the kids getting it. But the state of California forced their hand here, and with more states incubating legislation, now the Board of Governors wants to immediately begin figuring out how to update its rules, with changes to be complete by January 2021. Board Chair Michael Drake said of the decision, quote, "We must embrace change to provide the best possible experience for college athletes. Additional flexibility in this area can and must continue to support college sports as a part of higher education. This modernization for the future is a natural extension of the steps that the NCAA members have taken in recent years to improve support for student athletes, including full cost of attendance and guaranteed scholarships." Chiney, I mean, look, you can tell from my voice, it's just a little hard for me to applaud people who are forced at knife point to make a change for them talking about how they're embracing change or embracing it because everyone made you. And by the way, they spent lobbying dollars in California to try to fight this. They spent money to try to prevent athletes from getting money. That's how much they wanted the schools to get to keep the money that they're getting off the athletes. How do you feel? Because I'm apparently still all worked out.
You know, it's so ironic because you mentioned the cost of attendance, and I just was remembering that I just got my cost of attendance settlement check in the mail, and my sisters and I were in a group chat saying, like, who got the most money?
Right.
I got $4,000 because they were off on that number, and I could have used that $4,000, that $1,000 per year instead of eating at Chipotle. Maybe I'm eating at a restaurant, right? Oh my gosh, these are my highlights. I can't even believe you guys found this. As grateful. You
were a very good college player. You were drafted #1 overall, so yes, it's easy to find your highlights.
I'm just teased. Yeah, this was a great time, but you know, I think the criticism is that, like, they say that scholarships should be your compensation, right? But it's really interesting because the degree you get sometimes is not the degree you wanted to get. You know what it's like at Stanford. When we're there, it was work as student athletes, you know, softball and basketball, it was work. And there are a lot of students that are your peers that are also doing work, and they can profit off of their name and their likeness. Whether at Stanford it was like building apps and starting businesses. Meanwhile, we're student athletes that are pretty much working a 9 to 5, and then on top of that going to school, and then you graduate and you're like, okay, was this the degree that I really wanted? Sometimes it just doesn't feel right. Especially when you're, you know, we talk about the 1% that makes big money in the NFL or the NBA or the WNBA, but the 99%, they should get a piece of the pie as well.
Well, I mean, it's a good point you make about the degree you get, because there's a lot of things, the doors that are closed. Like, you can't go study abroad, you can't take afternoon classes. Oh, that's when we practice. Okay. You know, I always remembered every year I would do an internship, and we'd have to like run it through the compliance office to make sure that I didn't get that internship at Sports Illustrated for Women because I was a student athlete at Stanford, that this wasn't an extra benefit, right? So there's all these stupid rules that need to like go away or at least be revised. But I think what we're really talking about is a fundamental system change, and there is so much more work to go. And I'm frankly like, yes, there is a gritting your teeth and saying, like, that statement was obviously written by a highly paid political communications consultant, and they did a nice job writing it because they're embracing change because they have no choice but to embrace change. But I, for one, am just glad we're not in the court system, because this could have gotten longer, uglier, and more expensive, to where at least now the NCAA says, okay, if we must change, at least we'll be a part of it. At least we will not fight it anymore. And they're going to try to determine some of their own ways that they're going to change rather than have it forced upon them, which it already has been.
I mean, look, I think they saw the tide of public opinion turning. LeBron James, a big part of changing that public opinion. He tweeted, quote, "It's a beautiful day for all college athletes going forward from this day on. Thank you guys for allowing me to bring more light to it. I'm so proud of the team and Uninterrupted bringing focus to this, and to everyone who has been fighting this fight. Not a victory, but a start." He's right about that. The Uninterrupted team did a big documentary on this that was really effective. He's been very outspoken. Draymond Green's been outspoken. Kevin Durant has been outspoken. And when voices like that help younger players and reach a hand up, I think it always makes a difference. It's going to make a difference now when these guys are actually getting compensated for some of what they earn, that notoriety that they're bringing their school.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports analysis and highlights, download the ESPN app. And for live streaming and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.